I'm Georgette with Double XL, and today we're here with Carmela Wallace, founder of the nonprofit organization Live Free 999 and Juice Wrld's mother. Welcome, Carmela.
Thank you. Nice to see you, Georgette.
Yes, nice to see you too. So December marks the 4-year anniversary of Juice Wrld's passing, but a positive to that is that you have created the global celebration of his life called Juice Wrld Day. So December 16th is that global celebration. It's a third annual concert. So tell us, share with the fans what people can expect, how Live Free 999 is incorporated into that day. And I see some of, the rappers, his friends, Ski Master Slump God, DJ Scheme, they're all involved in that.
Yeah, so actually, I can't take credit for coming up with the Juice Wrld Day idea, but I'm happy to be a part of it. Grade A Productions, that's actually their baby. And I use it as an opportunity just to touch the people that Jared touched, to touch his fans, because he just always had words of life. So I feel like, I like to go there and like on behalf of Jared and just carry on his message. You're not alone. Just give me an opportunity just to connect with them, and give them a little something, because they just want to hear something, because Jared was just so impactful, and he touched so many people that that day is just really special for them, because it's a chance for fans to just come together and just celebrate him and just the great things that he did. So it's a big deal for them, and it's a great opportunity for me just to come and talk to them and be a part of them honoring my son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you feel like in those moments, once you leave, like this big sense of joy, it's just like all these people have been pouring into you, how do you feel like the day after, kind of?
I feel really good, and it still takes me by surprise just how many people loved him. Because he's my son, so I always see him as Jared, my son, that Juice Wrld, the star. So it's amazing. Like, I just remember the first Juice Wrld Day and pulling up to the United Center and seeing his pictures, outside, and just all these people here are for him. So it's rewarding. It is really rewarding, and it's comforting, to know that he was so impactful.
Mm-hmm. What's one song of his that you like look forward to hearing, in a stadium kind of big arena setting like that?
I would say, well, I'm kind of biased because my favorite song is "Hear Me Calling," so
That's a good
so
one.
that one to get me every time, and that one is personal because I was there, from the beginning with the video shoot and all of that. So it's personal to me, and plus it's a really good song. So that one always, every time.
Definitely. You got to see the behind the scenes. So
Yeah,
it hits closer to home.
it's personal. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. So with Live Free 999, your nonprofit organization, it focuses on providing services and helping those struggling with mental health and substance abuse. I know you have been, doing a wonderful job donating and helping people. Tell us how, 2023 has been in that space, with your organization and some of the things that you're proud of.
So 2023, it's been good. We still, do many types of donations, but a good thing happened this year where I was able to partner with his old high school, and so we were able to establish the club created by Glenn Close, Bring Change to Mind. So the students are engaged and they're involved, and just the start of that relationship with the school, we plan on doing like so many different activities with them that it's really, I think, one of the most impactful things this year, adding them to the mix, making it more personal, because my goal was, so yeah, we give a lot of donations, but my goal is to be more on the ground too. I mean, money is good, and organizations, they definitely need the funding, but I want to be visible. I
Right.
want to be engaged, feet on the ground, to really be involved in what's going on.
Right. And taking action. So
Exactly.
right. So one of the big donations that you did make through the organization was for World Mental Health Day, right?
Mhm.
It was $100,000. So can you talk about, how that money just gets distributed and like helping people?
So we distribute grants And many of these, like one prime example, one of the companies we donated to was Crisis Text Line, which we use them so much, and our relationship is really growing into more where we're able to just touch so many people. So, giving them a donation, it helps us keep that line open, which provides, resources for people. If they need somebody to talk to, with somebody there for them. So those kind of partnerships and relationships are so important because I don't want to reinvent the wheel. So if it's tools out there and there's people already out there that are in line with what we do, with our core values and with our objectives, then we partner with them, and the goal is just to reach as many people as we can. Mm-hmm. So I think giving a donation, it just really helps us to continue our mission and just helping people realize they're not alone, and just not allowing them to suffer in silence.
So for those that may be unaware of your core values and your mission, what is that with Live Free 999?
Well, basically, we're here to be a voice for the voiceless, to let people know they are not alone. And we do that by partnering with organizations and, providing them the resources. I mean, because realistically, they need money to operate. So, providing them the resources so they can serve people as well.
You mentioned a little bit earlier about teaming with Jared's high school. Is that the same high school that he was in the marching band with?
Yes.
Awesome. So do some of, those funds and stuff help with any of like the music programs in that respect?
Not just yet, but going forward, we are going to put a recording studio in the school. So we're gonna support that. They're working out the details of like the placement and all of that. But what's so great about his high school is that, so they're gonna have a recording studio put in, but they actually are gonna have a curriculum built around it. Mm-hmm. So it's not just like, somebody's coming in to just make music, but it's going to be a part of a program that really prepare them if someone wants to go into that area. So mm-hmm. I think it's going to be just really great to be able to do that. And recording music was so special to Jared. So to be able to go back to his high school and build a studio for them, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, that definitely is phenomenal. And, to have people learn the skills to record, mix, whether you want to be an engineer, you want to be the producer. Years ago in my high school days, that wasn't necessarily like an option. And I knew a lot of people were interested in music. So I could see, people in high school now really, they're probably going to get booked up really fast when when those classes happen, for sure.
And it's awesome because Jared influenced them with that. Jared influenced them because his high school, college prep, you went to that, it's a really good school. We moved in the community so he could go to that school. People do that because it's a really good school. They do well, the students. So for them to expand it, because Jared didn't go to college, to expand it where it's other opportunities for students, they're going to put that in there. They also put in a culinary program too. So they're really in tune. They pay attention to the needs and what's going on. So it's a blessing to really be able to partner with them and work with them.
Yeah, and carry on Juice Wrld's message for sure.
Absolutely.
So one of the great things that I think is cool about Live Free 999, especially with how fashion is so important to in hip hop, is the merch. Everybody loves a fly hoodie or a shirt that has, some type of messaging on it. So you have inspirational messages about like healing. You also have hoodies that have Juice Wrld's face on it. So tell us a little bit about how you go about like finding the designers or just the process of, creating this merch.
That's one awesome thing we do too with Live Free. We like to create opportunities and maybe for someone who would not have gotten that opportunity. So for the first design was Exhale Depression. We had a college student do that one. And they offer their time to do it for free. So they volunteer their services. And then for that one, I had them talk about mental health as well. So it wasn't like you're just designing, but I wanted to know, well, how do you deal with mental health? How do you deal with anxiety? So that was all a part of them presenting something. It's really cool. The second wave, it came from also an artist out of California that's associated with our merchandise. The people who distribute, I lost for words for the name of it, but he's associated with them, and he's so creative, and the beauty of it all is the commitment we get from people. They don't ask for money; they just want to help, and I love that. And they're young, they want to help each other. So I really love the fact that they volunteer their services, that they donate their art, and they're focused on the greater good. So I love it.
Right. And
it's real nice.
Does the money and proceeds, that come from those sales, they get donated back?
100%. Yeah, I don't. 100% goes right back into the foundation. So don't touch the money. Just give it right back and keep it going, right. which is great. So you can look good and you can help others too, because that's the goal, just to help as many people as we can, and to just to continue to grow and just create a space where people feel like they're not alone.
Right. Look good, feel good, be of service.
You can't go wrong.
Yes, exactly. I love it. So what is something else this year that you're working towards for 2024 with Live Free 999 and, having Jared's legacy continue?
Well, actually, pretty much staying on the same course, just, working on ways to be impactful, working on getting like psychologists and, more professionals involved. And then I have this like really big vision of having like a pop-up counseling and therapy session. So I'm working out the details. You know how you have a pop-up store?
Right.
Well, I want like a pop-up therapy, where we just have these events where people could go and get help, because a lot of times people don't have the resources to get help too, and that's a problem. So that's one of my things that I'm working on. And it's just a matter of pulling psychologists and working on the logistics, but that's one I want to make happen.
Yeah, that's an awesome idea. So besides, of course, the obvious, but what like sparked your interest to do that and like actually make it happen, continue with it?
Just the need for people, and, and just the people don't have the resources. You may have someone, and our crisis line is good, but it's not a permanent fix. It's for the moment, but just the goal is just to create long-term solutions, to really get people help. And I think that's going to be, a way to do it. And people need to talk, because I think, holding it all in, you think, you're by yourself, you don't realize it, but talking about it, like one of the things we have for Live Free is sharing your story. And the point of sharing your story is just that you see you're not alone. People are overcoming these things, and if you read some of them, maybe it might be encouraging, because I think that's the biggest enemy, when it comes to anxiety and depression, is to get that person alone and make them think, I'm the only one, no one's going through what I've gone through, no one understands. But to read and people say, hey, not only did I go through it, but I overcame it, I conquered it. So that's the point of just creating that community where people talk. I think that's the important part, talking, keeping the conversation going.
And not keeping it all inside. So with the crisis line, can you give like a peek of some details on the actual people? Like, how does it work? So people just don't think it's like some automated, like somebody from, the background. How does that work for people who actually want to use the crisis line?
So it's text too, which is perfect. So it's trained professionals that they could text, and the whole conversation is text, and it's in Spanish too. Nice. They could text and they can get, whatever it is that they're dealing with, they can have somebody right there with them to help them through that step, to help them through that moment. Yeah. So
another way that you're also helping to keep just the legacy of Juice Wrld alive too is through your Homewood Brewing Company, right?
Yes.
And I know you broke ground on it. I see you on Instagram, which is awesome. You got the hard hat on all times. You're like you just said before, you're on the ground, like you're there and being part of like the building. So tell us a little bit about that, how it's going, when will it be open, and what, fans can also expect if they want to come through.
Okay. So the brewery is coming along great. We broke ground last year on Jared's birthday. We broke ground. I just wanted to do something special on that day. So this year, where we are, the brewing equipment was put in a couple of weeks ago. The building is in place, and we're working through the rest of the construction process. But we've made a lot of progress, tons of progress, and we're looking to open late spring, early summer, because I want it where everything is in order. My background is quality management, so my goal is to make sure that we're consistent, we have good service, and then people want to come back. So I've been putting a lot of resources with a lot of consultants, marketing, menu, operations, everything, just pulling it together to create this place that's like that second home, that place where you want to come. You have good food consistently. That's my pet peeve. You go to a place once and you go again and it's not the same. So just the consistency of food and service. And Jared loved Homewood. Even after he became famous, he came back home. He would come back home. So it's that place, it's that chill place where we're not trying to be perfect. We're trying to be excellent. We're trying to be fun, have good food, good service. And fortunate enough to get the artist who did the mural of him here that got painted over, but we have him. So we're gonna have a mural and stuff to tribute to Jared. But they can look for great food with fresh ingredients, farm to table. We're making our own beer, so fresh craft beer, and just a really great experience. It's that third place, where you don't want to go home, but you want to go home. This is that other place.
Right. So 2024, spring or summer, Homewood Brewing Company will be open. One of the questions I was actually going to ask you, which you brought up, is about that mural. And I know that it had gotten painted over earlier this year. So that's awesome to hear that a mural will be at Homewood Brewing Company from that same artist and give that type of dedication and moment for the fans. Because I feel like that's also, like you just mentioned, a place where people can feel at home, but also see visually, take photos with, kind of like share that experience amongst each other.
Yeah, so it's like Jared, creative and fun. So that's where we want it to be, right? And creative and fun.
And the playlist in the brewing company, I'm sure it's going to have some Juice Wrld songs.
Oh, we have to have Pop's in there. Absolutely.
Right. We'll get some of those in there. If someone wanted to help out through Live Free 999, do you offer like internships for people, or like you just mentioned, possibly like through the designs? How can people get involved, from an outside space, or even just support, not even doing internships?
Well, they could go to our website, livefree999.org, and they could donate. They could ask questions if they want to get involved, and they are read. The questions are read. The comments and things are read, and we could take it from there. We could definitely welcome help.
Right.
And then as we continue to grow, it'll just, the need for help will continue to grow as well. So, we look forward to it. We welcome it.
Definitely. So with Juice Wrld's music, there's always those questions, right? Of like, when is the album coming? The Party Never Ends is the album that I'm sure fans are just waiting for, always hitting up Little Bibby about the Grade 18. What can you share with the fans that about The Party Never Ends as far as the album?
I know that Brandon is putting in a lot of work to make it really good. I mean, he's really committed and dedicated to being proud of it. He puts a lot of time and effort into what he produces. So I know that the love is there. I know that the commitment is there, and I know he wants everything to be perfect. So it's coming, and people should stop stealing music. I just have to throw that in there too, because that messes up things as well. People want stuff they haven't heard, but that's an issue. But he's working through it, and it's coming soon, and it's gonna be it's a work of love, and I think he's proud of the progress he's making on it. But it's gonna be great. So they just have to be just a little patient, and let it go through the process. But it's coming soon.
Right. Yeah, those leaks, they, as much as people want something like quick, fast, like you just said, it holds up the process. That's
Yeah.
everybody out there. That's why you're not getting the album faster.
Yes. Stop stealing music. Stop stealing music.
Yes, you heard it from Miss Well.
Stop stealing music.
Exactly. One thing that I love about you as far as leading the Juice Wrld estate is that many times, unfortunately, when rappers do pass, music is not necessarily heard because there may not have been a lot of recordings in the same space that Juice Wrld had, because he just loved to record. He just had so many, thankfully, where we already had 2 and 3 posthumous albums out there. So why is that important for you to keep that going, making sure that there are albums that still come out and keep his music and his message continuing?
Because that's what he loved. He loved making music, and he loved people hearing his music. When you were around Jared, you listened to Jared's music. If you were in the car going somewhere, you listen to Jared's music. So he loved making music, and he loved his fans hearing his music. So I'm trying to just continue his legacy, continue his wishes. Recording music was a big deal for him, that he did every day. So I feel like he wanted his fans to hear it, and I want to honor his wishes.
And you had in the past, when I've interviewed you, I believe I had asked you like how much involvement you are into the actual albums and the creation, and you kind of mentioned like you leave that to Bibby. Yeah, yes. So that's still the case.
Yes, my background is quality management, so I know good music when I hear it, but you definitely don't want me involved in that process.
Got it. So you're quality managing once you hear the final product.
Yes.
Got it. So The Party Never Ends, you mentioned it was coming soon. Is there a possibility it may come in 2024?
I would say yeah.
Okay.
All right. I would say yeah.
That's good. So new year, we may have a whole new Juice Wrld album to look forward to. All right.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's coming.
So as a front-facing person for Live Free 999, and you wanting to make that more of your mission to be like out there and active on the ground, what's something for the new year that you're looking forward to getting out there? Is there certain organizations that you want to reach that maybe haven't happened yet?
I can't think of any at the moment, but I am full of ideas. It's like always something coming to me.
Yeah.
They just come, and some of them work out well, and some of them I have to try again. So I'm sure the ideas that keep coming. I have a good team in place. So I have more people to help with Live Free and to help us just really see, where we're going, because it's just growing. I had no idea when I started Live Free where we were going, but I knew I needed to do something. And the need is still there. So we're willing to do whatever it takes. So we're open to new partnerships, as long as it has the same goal and just helping people.
For sure. Yeah. Do you ever have any of Juice's like rap friends come to you wanting to get involved with, any of the programs and things that you're doing with Live Free?
I've had people offer to help. Yeah. And Grade A, they help a lot too. Right. So yeah, absolutely.
That's great to see. With Juice Wrld, I know he would have celebrated his 25th birthday in December, and he loved paintballing. He loved riding dirt bikes. Is there something that you think like he may have been celebrating this year?
I don't know. Much of the same. Right. Yeah, because Jared was not he was not like a party kind of guy. He was more of a homebody. So it's something that he could do with his friends. So I could definitely see him doing paintballing, riding dirt bikes. In fact, the last time I talked to him on his last birthday, he was gonna go dirt bike riding. So he liked that adventurous, fun stuff. So it would have been something more so like that. Hopefully, nothing that would have made me crazy. Like he said, he want to go hiking or something, bungee jumping or something that made me nervous. But he was adventurous and he liked doing fun stuff. So he would have had something fun planned.
Definitely.
And he would have come home. Definitely would have come home.
And he would have shared it with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
One thing that you do, which I also find awesome, is that you continue to share moments and memories on Instagram, photos of him, and sometimes you'll tell like behind the scenes moments and stories of those photos. Why do you feel like, that's important? Because you could keep all those photos and memories, to yourself.
Sometimes I do it to share a little bit of him to show the human side.
Right.
Because people see artists and they put them on a pedestal, like they're not a person. Mm-hmm. So just to show them that, he's a young man that grew and was raised like everyone else. So he's a normal person, and not Jesus, so to speak, just to treat him in that manner. And also sometimes it's for me, sometimes I may see something and I'm feeling a way about it and I just want to share. So, it depends, but I like to show the human side. So it could be more normal, we can have a normal conversation about substance abuse and dependency too. Right. just a normal person who was blessed to live his dream and was also struggling at the same time. So I like to show the real person.
Right. I think as much as your son was an inspiration to many people, you are as well. There are people who deal with loss and family members who are still here that deal with mental health and struggle with substance abuse. What would be advice that you have to give to other people, just as someone like yourself who has dealt with it, who may have family members or, who they're just like struggling along the way as well?
I like the honest approach. So I would say deal with it honestly and deal with your emotions and feelings about it honestly. I like dealing with the truth. And like with Jared, I told him the truth. I mean, of course I know he was doing drugs. He was singing about it. But I didn't, act like it wasn't happening. But I had to come to him in a way so it was different. Okay, he's not living at home. He's an adult. So I had to approach him in a way where I'm not pointing the finger and condemning you and judging you, but I'm talking to you like, look, what you're doing, the end results aren't going to be good. And I would tell him, Jared, I'm scared. Jared, I'm nervous. My biggest fear is you overdosing. And he's like, well, I have it. I read that, you could take certain amount, that was his mind. And I think just dealing with truth, just being honest about it. And even if you suffered loss, and I still have a bad day. It's hard for me around his birthday. It's hard for me, around when he died, that I just have to unplug. I can't even be on social media or anything at that point because I just need to draw back. But I know that about me. So I think the thing is to be honest with yourself of how you're really feeling and not try to mask it. Some days are bad because I lost my son and there's no time stamp on it. When would I feel better? Mm-hmm. I don't think that's possible. It's just a matter of going forward, and just, keeping moving because life keeps moving, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you won't feel the impact of losing a child. That's something that you have to live with. But I think the key is just being honest and having those honest conversations, and telling people the truth and mostly being honest with yourself and not trying to put on a mask. I don't have to say, oh, it's a great day. You're doing that for someone else.
Right.
But to really walk in your truth and just be honest on how you feel. And if you need help, you should definitely talk to somebody.
Right. Well, the impact that you will feel on December 16th will be massive because you'll be at the United Center for the global celebration of Juice Wrld's life for Juice Wrld Day. So that's something great to look forward to. And then livefree999.org, correct, is the website. Yes, that everyone can go to take a look at all of the great work that you've been doing, donate, take a look at the merch, the sharing of the stories and hear real life and read real life accounts, and also just peruse and look around to just get involved, because like you mentioned before, you know, that's just an important part, to be on the ground, but help others and to be of service to others. I appreciate you so much, Carmela. Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
you're
Good
welcome.
talking to you.
Of course, always. You have happy holidays, all right?
Thank you. Same to you.